The music world has witnessed many shocking losses over the years, but few felt as sudden, surreal, and heartbreaking as the news that emerged on June 14, 2026. A young artist, a global star, a creative force unlike anyone else in modern music. At just 32 years old, Oliver Tree was gone. For millions of fans around the world, it seemed impossible to believe. Only days earlier, he had been performing, traveling, creating, and entertaining audiences with the same unpredictable energy that had made him famous. Then, in a matter of moments, everything changed. And as people searched through his final public appearances and recent posts, one question began echoing across social media. What was the last message Oliver Tree shared before his death? The answer would leave many fans stunned. But before we get to that message, we need to understand the remarkable story behind the man who captured the internet's attention and built one of the most unusual careers in modern entertainment. Born Oliver Tree Nickel in Santa Cruz, California, Oliver never fit neatly into any category. He wasn't simply a singer. He wasn't simply a comedian. He wasn't simply an internet personality. He was somehow all three at once. From the very beginning, Oliver approached music differently than almost everyone around him. While many artists carefully crafted polished public images, Oliver embraced absurdity. The oversized clothes, the unforgettable bowl haircut, the giant sunglasses, the bizarre interviews, the outrageous stunts. To some people, it looked like a joke. But beneath the humor was a genuinely talented musician with a gift for blending emotion, vulnerability, and catchy melodies. That combination would eventually make him one of the most recognizable figures on the internet. His breakthrough came through a series of viral releases that showcased his unique style. Songs like "When I'm Down" helped introduce him to a growing online audience, while his distinctive visual identity made him impossible to ignore. Soon, Oliver Tree became more than just another musician. He became a phenomenon. His music mixed alternative rock, pop, electronic influences, and emotional storytelling. At the same time, his videos embraced chaos, satire, and larger-than-life characters. Fans never knew exactly what he would do next, and that unpredictability became part of the appeal. Then came the songs that pushed him to an entirely new level. Tracks like "Life Goes On," "Miss You," "Alien Boy," "Hurt," and others earned billions of streams and transformed Oliver Tree into an international star. His audience expanded far beyond the United States, reaching listeners across Europe, South America, Asia, and beyond. Yet despite the fame, Oliver remained an unconventional figure. Unlike many celebrities, he often blurred the line between reality and performance. Fans could never be entirely sure when he was joking and when he was being serious. That mystery made him fascinating, and it made people pay attention. By 2026, Oliver Tree had built a career that many artists could only dream of. Millions of followers, millions of monthly listeners, multiple successful albums, world tours, viral videos, and a reputation as one of the most creative personalities in modern music. Everything appeared to be moving forward. In the spring of 2026, he released his latest album and embarked on what was described as a major world tour spanning multiple continents. Fans packed venues, eager to experience the energy that only an Oliver Tree show could provide. Nobody imagined that the tour would never be completed. On the morning of June 14, 2026, tragedy struck in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. According to multiple reports, two helicopters collided in midair over the neighborhood of Recreio dos Bandeirantes. The collision was catastrophic. One helicopter crashed into the parking area of a car dealership. The impact sparked a large fire involving numerous electric vehicles parked nearby. There were no survivors. Oliver Tree was among the 6 people who lost their lives in the accident. He was 32 years old. The news spread across the internet with astonishing speed. At first, many fans refused to believe it. Social media filled with confusion. People searched desperately for confirmation. Surely it had to be a rumor, a misunderstanding, another internet hoax. But as major news organizations and authorities confirmed the tragedy, the reality became impossible to ignore. Oliver Tree was gone. Around the world, fans began sharing memories, concert clips, favorite songs, funny interviews, personal stories about how his music helped them through difficult times. Many remembered the way he encouraged people to embrace their differences. Others reflected on how his humor often masked surprisingly emotional themes. Even those who had only recently discovered his music felt the weight of the loss. Because Oliver Tree wasn't just another artist. He represented individuality, creativity, and the courage to be completely yourself, no matter how strange the world thought you were. As tributes poured in from fellow musicians, content creators, and fans, another conversation quietly began taking shape. People started revisiting his final public appearances, his recent performances, his interviews, his social media activity, and what they found left many emotional. Because in hindsight, some of his final public words seemed to carry a meaning nobody could have anticipated. Words that sounded completely ordinary at the time. Words that now felt haunting. Words that would become the center of countless discussions in the days following his death. What exactly did Oliver Tree say in the final days before the tragedy? And why are so many fans convinced those messages feel different now than they did before? That's where the story takes an even more emotional turn. In the days before the tragedy, Oliver Tree appeared to be doing exactly what he loved most: creating, performing, traveling, and connecting with fans around the world. There was no public indication that anything was wrong. No farewell announcement. No warning. No sign that the vibrant artist millions had followed for years was living through the final chapter of his life. Instead, Oliver seemed focused on one of the biggest moments of his career. In 2026, he had launched an ambitious global tour that was scheduled to span dozens of shows across multiple continents. It was a project that reflected the enormous reach of his music and the worldwide audience he had built over the years. The tour had already taken him through several countries, and fans were eagerly anticipating upcoming performances across Europe, North America, Australia, and Asia. To the public, Oliver looked energized. His social media pages remained active. He continued sharing videos, interacting with creators, and documenting his experiences abroad. And nowhere was that more evident than during his time in Brazil. For Oliver, Brazil wasn't simply another stop on a tour schedule. It appeared to be an experience he was genuinely enjoying. Videos posted during his visit showed him immersing himself in local culture, meeting creators, laughing with friends, playing soccer, riding bikes, exploring neighborhoods, and embracing the excitement of being somewhere new. Fans watching those videos saw the same Oliver Tree they had always known. Playful, curious, energetic, completely unpredictable. What nobody realized at the time was that these moments would become some of the last public glimpses of him alive. One of the videos that would later attract enormous attention was an Instagram reel shared shortly before the accident. The clip documented what was described as a fun-filled day in Brazil and featured Oliver participating in various activities with local influencers and creators. At the time, it seemed like a normal travel post. Just another entry in the endless stream of content that modern artists share every day. But after news of his death spread around the world, millions of people returned to watch it again. And this time, they watched it differently. Every smile felt heavier. Every joke felt more meaningful. Every moment carried a sense of sadness that wasn't there before. Many fans found themselves searching for hidden meaning in ordinary scenes. Not because Oliver had predicted what would happen, but because tragedy often changes the way people see the past. What once looked routine suddenly feels unforgettable. The comments beneath the video quickly transformed into a global memorial. Fans from dozens of countries left messages expressing disbelief, grief, and gratitude. The post accumulated millions of views as people revisited what would become one of the final public records of Oliver Tree's life. At roughly the same time, fans also began examining his recent social media activity on other platforms. One message in particular drew widespread attention. Just days before the crash, Oliver celebrated the early success of his tour and expressed excitement about seeing fans in future destinations. He wrote that Mexico had been an incredible start and said he would soon see audiences across Europe, North America, and Australia. At first glance, the message was completely ordinary. A musician looking forward to the next phase of a world tour. Nothing more. Yet after his death, readers could not help noticing the heartbreaking reality hidden inside those words. He never reached those destinations. The concerts never happened. The fans waiting in those cities would never get the chance to see him perform. And suddenly, A simple expression of optimism became something much more emotional. Not because it contained a secret message, not because it was prophetic, but because it reflected a future that would never arrive. As people continued revisiting Oliver's recent interviews and public appearances, another theme emerged. Many remembered how often his work explored life's uncertainty. Behind the humor and absurdity that defined his public persona, Oliver's music frequently touched on loneliness, change, struggle, and perseverance. Songs that once sounded quirky or playful now carried a deeper emotional weight. Perhaps no lyric captured this feeling more powerfully than the words millions already knew by heart from one of his biggest hits. As these seasons keep on changing, life goes on and on and on and on. Those lyrics had existed long before the tragedy. Yet after June 14th, countless fans began sharing them across social media. Not as a prediction, not as a final statement, but as a reminder of the message that had always existed within his music. Life changes. Time moves forward. Nothing lasts forever. The emotional reaction extended beyond fans. Friends, collaborators, fellow creators, and musicians began sharing tributes as the news spread. Among them was fellow artist and content creator KSI, who publicly mourned Oliver and described him as a friend and a legend. Others remembered his creativity, his generosity, his willingness to take risks, his determination to build an artistic world that was entirely his own. Many noted that Oliver Tree had achieved something extraordinarily difficult in modern entertainment. He had created a character that millions recognized instantly. Yet behind that character was a real person whose music connected with people on a deeply personal level. That combination is rare. And it helps explain why the reaction to his death was so intense. The world wasn't only mourning a viral star. It was mourning an artist who had spent years encouraging people to embrace their individuality. As the days passed, more old interviews resurfaced online. Fans revisited conversations about life, creativity, success, and the future. Some clips suddenly felt emotional in ways nobody expected when they were first recorded. But perhaps the most heartbreaking realization was this. Oliver Tree's final public messages were not dramatic goodbyes. They weren't carefully crafted farewells. They weren't mysterious warnings. They were simply the words of a man who appeared excited about what came next. A man making plans. A man building new projects. A man looking forward to future concerts. A man who, like everyone else, believed there would be more time. And that realization may be the saddest part of all. Because now, fans are left with one impossible question. What would Oliver Tree have created next if he had been given the chance? The answer is something the world will never know. But what he left behind may prove even more powerful than anyone imagined. And that legacy would soon inspire an extraordinary wave of tributes from around the globe. When news of Oliver Tree's death was confirmed, the shock was immediate. But as the hours turned into days, shock slowly gave way to something else. Reflection. Around the world, millions of people began revisiting his music, watching old interviews, and sharing memories of the artist who had spent years challenging expectations. For many fans, it felt impossible to separate Oliver Tree the performer from Oliver Tree the person. His public image was so distinctive that it often overshadowed the deeper messages hidden inside his work. The bowl haircut, the oversized jackets, the outrageous stunts, the bizarre humor, those things made him famous. But they were only part of the story. Behind the comedy was an artist who understood something important about modern life. People often feel pressure to fit in, to act a certain way, to follow expectations, to hide the parts of themselves that seem strange or different. Oliver did the opposite. He built an entire career around standing out. And in doing so, he gave countless fans permission to do the same. That is one reason his death resonated so deeply. People weren't simply losing a musician. They were losing someone who represented individuality itself. As tributes continued pouring in, social media became a global gathering place for grieving fans. Messages appeared from every corner of the world. Some shared concert memories. Others posted favorite lyrics. Many spoke about discovering his music during difficult periods in their lives. There were stories from people who found comfort in songs like Hurt. Stories from listeners who felt understood through tracks that explored loneliness, frustration, and resilience. Stories from fans who said Oliver's unique approach to life encouraged them to embrace their own differences. What made these tributes especially emotional was their diversity. Oliver Tree's audience never fit into one category. His fans included teenagers and adults, music lovers and internet culture enthusiasts, people who admired his humor and people who connected with his vulnerability. He managed to bring together audiences that rarely overlap, and that achievement is remarkably rare. Fellow artists also began sharing their grief. Many praised his originality. Others reflected on his willingness to take creative risks. In an industry where many performers follow trends, Oliver often seemed determined to create his own path. Sometimes that path confused people. Sometimes it divided opinion. But it was always unmistakably his. And perhaps that is the greatest compliment any artist can receive. No one could mistake an Oliver Tree project for anyone else's. His voice was unique. His visual style was unique. His personality was unique. His artistic identity belonged entirely to him. As fans revisited his catalog, one song repeatedly emerged as a symbol of his legacy. Life Goes On. The track had already become a global success long before the tragedy. But after June 14, 2026, its meaning felt different to many listeners. Not because the song was written about death. Not because it contained hidden predictions. But because its central message suddenly felt painfully relevant. Life changes. People come and go. Time never stops moving forward. And somehow, despite heartbreak, life continues. Millions of listeners returned to the song searching for comfort. Some found hope. Others found sadness. Many found both. That emotional complexity reflected Oliver himself. His work often balanced humor and pain in the same moment. A funny visual could accompany a deeply personal lyric. A ridiculous character might deliver a surprisingly serious message. He understood that human emotions are rarely simple. People laugh while hurting. People smile through difficult times. People keep moving forward even when life becomes overwhelming. That understanding gave his music lasting power. As discussions about his final public message continued online, many fans reached a similar conclusion. The significance wasn't found in any mysterious hidden meaning. The significance came from how ordinary the message was. Oliver's final public posts showed someone looking toward the future. Someone excited about upcoming shows. Someone making plans. Someone expecting tomorrow to arrive. In hindsight, that reality became profoundly emotional, because it reminded people of a truth that applies to every life. None of us know which conversation will be our last. None of us know which photo will become our final picture. None of us know which message will become our final message. Life rarely announces its turning points in advance. And that realization caused many fans to view Oliver's final days through a different lens. His excitement felt more precious. His laughter felt more meaningful. His optimism felt more valuable. Not because he knew something nobody else knew, but because he didn't. He was simply living his life, looking ahead, dreaming about the future, just like the millions of people who followed him. In the weeks following the tragedy, videos of his performances continued spreading online. New listeners discovered his music for the first time. Old fans revisited songs they hadn't heard in years. The numbers continued growing. Streams increased. Tributes multiplied. And something remarkable began to happen. Even though Oliver Tree was gone, his influence remained active. His music continued reaching new audiences. His videos continued making people laugh. His ideas continued inspiring creativity. His message continued finding people who needed it. That is the strange power of art. A life can end. A career can be interrupted. But the work survives. The songs survive. The memories survive. The impact survives. And perhaps that is why Oliver Tree's story continues to resonate so strongly. His career was never built on being ordinary. From the beginning, he challenged conventions. He questioned expectations. He embraced individuality. He turned uniqueness into strength. And in doing so, he created something that will outlive him. For future generations discovering his music, Oliver Tree may simply be an artist they encounter online. A voice on a playlist. A face in a music video. a song recommended by an algorithm. But for those who followed his journey in real time, he was something more. He was proof that authenticity still matters. Proof that creativity still matters. Proof that being different can become your greatest advantage. As we reach the end of this story, the image that remains isn't one of tragedy. It's one of motion. A musician traveling the world, meeting fans, creating art, looking toward the future with excitement. That future was tragically cut short, but the legacy he built remains. And perhaps that is the deeper meaning many people found in the final public words he left behind. Not a warning, not a prediction, not a farewell. Simply a reminder to keep moving forward, to keep creating, to keep embracing who you are, to keep living fully while the opportunity exists. Oliver Tree spent his career encouraging people to stand out instead of blending in. And even after his passing, that message continues to inspire millions. His voice may have fallen silent, but his influence has not. His journey may have ended, but his story continues. And somewhere, every time a listener presses play on one of his songs, every time a fan laughs at one of his videos, every time someone chooses to embrace their individuality because of the example he set, a small part of that legacy lives on. Oliver Tree was only 32 years old, gone far too soon, but never forgotten. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. And thank you for reminding the world that being different is something worth celebrating.